happy Tuesday. Here every Tuesday to answer questions for you. Ayurvedic answers. What is Ayurveda? If you've watched any of my other videos, Ayurveda, I will always say, is really connecting back into yourself, connecting back into the subtle questions and the things that your body is screaming for you to answer. So Ayurveda is really a term used as a holistic method. Ayurveda is used in India. It's an Indian, over 5,000 years old way of healing. But if you were to go there and ask, are you practicing Indian medicine? Are you practicing Ayurveda? They would just, they would say no, they live Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a living, breathing wisdom. And I am here to answer your questions using that wisdom. So using these ancient tools and techniques that have been around for thousands and thousands of years to heal, to put health back into your hands. So I want to answer questions that you guys have about your health, whether that be mental health, whether that be physical health. And maybe you don't feel like sharing or asking a really personal question. You can always feel free to type in a personal message and I can answer it that way. But I think also having a platform that anyone and everyone can view and see, the questions you're asking, you're not alone. People are working and dealing with the same challenges that you are working with. So one, having a community like this where we ask questions and we can bounce ideas back and forth, it really opens up people that aren't ready to ask those questions out loud so they can get some answers. And two, maybe there's just something on your mind, a quick question, something that you've been thinking about that you don't really know who to ask. Maybe it's not something you would necessarily go to your doctor for, but there's so much information on the internet, you're not really sure where to check or really how to implement something that you've learned. That's why I'm here. Hey, Jess. Ask me questions. That's why I'm here. There's so much information on the internet that can be really challenging to work through. Cleanses, one of them. Tons of people trying out cleanses. Hey, Brett. Tons of people who think that this is the cleanse for them or this is the diet from them. And then a few weeks later, a few months later, you find that your body is just not being able to sustain itself. So there's a ton of questions that you can ask concerning that. There's questions you can ask concerning your sleep. Are you getting a full night's sleep? Do you wake up feeling really rested? What's going on? That's why I'm here. I'm here every Tuesday at noon, so you can ask me questions. And I've been kind of implementing these weekly ideas. This week, I want to talk about, I've got my little notes, I want to talk about commitment to self-care and really what that looks like. I saw this really beautiful presentation by a woman named Monica Yearwood, and she's on Facebook doing the same sort of thing that I'm doing, working with Ayurveda and working with digestion and working with health. And she talked about what is commitment to self-care. We sometimes see that commitment as, I'm going to book myself a massage that I'm going to get next week, or, next week when I have time, I'm going to take a really long bath and I'm going to make it bubble with bubbles and salts. Self-care does not have to be this distant thing that can only happen when you have made time and that your schedule can work around. Self-care can be drinking your water. Self-care can be just eating a warm, delicious meal. Self-care can be rubbing coconut oil on your skin. Self-care can be dropping a little bit of lavender in a hot bowl of water when you go to sleep so that aroma can just help calm. There are really amazing little techniques that can be self-care that are more of the physical. But self-care can also be talking to your partner and having them understand where you're coming from and what your needs are. When we explain things and when we talk about our needs, are those what you're actually thinking? Are you able to produce the words, be able to communicate with your friends and your family to what you're actually thinking and what you actually want to be saying? That is self-care too. You have to break things down so you are able to share them and communicate. And you can only do that when you give yourself the time to break those things down, right? We don't just think of something, say it, and it's always perfect. It usually comes with a few hurdles, a few challenges, and also personally, those challenges of what it is that you really want. So do take the time to write down and tell yourself, communicate with yourself what it is that you really want. That is ultimately self-care. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop on, ask a question. I don't stay on for too long. I'm only here for usually about 10 minutes. And oh, hey Manish, what's up? Yeah, you've reached Q&AA on Tuesdays, questions and Ayurvedic answers. I'm here to answer questions that anyone might have and really just open up a dialogue. I spoke right at the beginning of this video that this is an opportunity for people to post questions that they feel comfortable speaking about, but you're more than welcome, always welcome, to post privately as well if it's something that's a little more dear to your heart. But I do love this platform of speaking with a community because a question that you ask may help others as well. Yeah, thanks for the likes, thanks for the love. I really do believe that there are subtle changes that we can make, and those subtle changes are messages that our body is asking of us. And if we don't take the time, if we don't commit to self-care and really sit down with ourselves and understand what it is that we want, we are going to have a very challenging time expressing that. So I challenge you to write down what it is that you want, who it is you want to speak to, who it is you want to reach out to, and more importantly, how you want them to come back to you, how you want your information to reach them, and then in turn their information to come back to you. So it's this really beautiful cycle that we live in, and it all stems from us. It all stems from where we take our first step and the actions that we take to reach those goals. If you just came on, we're talking about self-commitment, self-care, and committing to oneself. If anyone has questions, please shout it out or type it out. That's probably more like it. I come on every Tuesday at noon, so you can take a break from your lunch, pop on and ask a question that you might be thinking about. Maybe it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time. Like, why do I get tired after eating lunch? That is a huge question. And that really comes down to how are you digesting your food? What is so amazing about Ayurveda is it's really personal. So although I'm asking you to ask questions and we don't have the time to dig into very specific answers, there's usually an idea that pops up. And then from there, we speak privately and we can kind of dig in more. But I think for a general population, why can't, what's wrong with my sleeping? We kind of go in and talk about, well, what's your sleep routine like when you go to bed? So again, if you have more personal questions, I love getting into those. We can talk on the phone. We can talk in a Zoom meeting, which is a platform that I use that allows for video chat. We can private message right here on Facebook. Don't let technology stand in the way of you getting your answers and asking your questions. So I don't have any questions today, but I love popping on and putting out this information because ultimately it's going to help someone and it might help you too. So have a beautiful Tuesday. And again, thanks for the love. Bye.